Hey, it's Brent in Central Arkansas. We're going to do pea a different way. You saw when they were exposed to light. This time, I'm growing a package of peas that comes in each kit, total blacked out. They will not be exposed to light at all, so there's no need for light. So I'm just going to take these peas, I'm going to put them in here, and we're going to do a 12-hour soak. This is speckled pea, and it does fantastic as a blackout blonde. What we're going to do now, post-priming, after the 12-hour soak and priming, we're going to put the peas on the grow tray. The grow tray does not get a screen for peas, beans, and sunflowers. We're just going to let them fall out of the ball jar just like that, and then just spread them out evenly. Peas, I just did a video on growing these exact pea, letting them green up, and they're so great for salads. The tips especially are just, oh, if you like the taste of peas, it's wonderful, wonderful. These are something different completely, and you'll see it as we grow. So I'm going to make it more or less even, and I'm going to put this tray on top of it, the cover tray on top of it, and we'll put weight on top of it. I'll show you that. Alright, I filled up the reservoir with 64 ounces of water, and now it's on. Now I'm going to spray it with the antifungal. Spray it very thoroughly, get it nice and wet. We just did the treatment, so it's not really necessary. It's more of a preventative. Next, we're going to put on the cover tray, and we're going to put on these 3 weights, and these are 2 pounds each, so it's a total of 6 pounds on that. And what that does is it pushes the lid down and keeps moisture going to the seed, which helps greatly with the germination. It also ensures the roots set. As the plants try to push up, like they're breaking through soil, they'll set the roots down into the reservoir much better because it is pretty crowded in there. And then we'll wait for this to lift pretty good, and when it does, we'll put the blackout dome on. So this is a blackout blonde grow, so we don't need this light here. So this will be off completely. There'll never be any light exposed to this. I also put in a lift tray clip here so it can be easily lifted. Of course, you probably want to take the weight off before you try to lift it, but anyway. See some separation here. Yeah. We're going to take this cover off now, and we're going to put the blackout dome on. And it's going to stay on for the entire grow. It's time to harvest these things, and I haven't opened these in days, but if you push down you can see that it's lifted off of the tray. So let's take a look and see what it looks like. Wow, is that awesome or what? See how dainty these are? Yeah, we're gonna harvest those bad boys. Alright, we're going to harvest these. I'm going to do all the weighing, the harvesting, everything at one time. So I will start the harvesting and speed it up here till we get to the end of the harvesting. We're done with the harvest. Don't they look beautiful? Oh man, I love these. A common complaint that I hear from microgreen growers a lot of times is that peas, when you grow a pea and it's green, it's tough towards the bottom of the pea. And this is true. It's fibrous. It's more fibrous towards the bottom, but the top, the delicate part of the leaf, is amazing. And it's a completely different product than these. These are the only microgreen I feel can be eaten alone as its own dish. And you can lightly steam these or lightly boil these for a short period of time and they turn into like a noodle. Add a little bit of bouillon to it, a little salt and pepper, and oh my gosh, these are so good. But here, I'm going to take a bite of the bottom here. Let me see, let me get you in the camera here. You can see that there's a little bit of edge there. It is not fibrous. This is quite good. And if you have ever tasted like a pea pod, you know, like a snow pea pod that doesn't have the round peas in it, that's exactly what this tastes like. And that's the way it's going to cook up too. It's going to have that pea-like taste to it, and there's just so much product here. Let's get a weight on it. I'm going to say it's between 3/4 and a pound, and that's a lot. Let me put it on ounces. And tear it out, zero it out, and then we're going to get a weight. Now this tray is the same exact tray as this tray. It is the cover for the microgreen kits. And it's also a nice display cover, isn't it? Let me get that in there because I may take a screen capture for the... Look at that. Now I'm going to get a screen capture of it for the video. Oh wow, that's quite a bit more than I expected. That's 20 ounces. That is 1 pound 4 ounces. That is, my guesstimator was not correct in my favor. It's a lot of product, folks. That's 1 pound 4 ounces of beautiful microgreens. Now I'm going to put a little bit of bouillon in a small pan, and I'm going to cook up some of these just so you can see what it looks like. These pea noodles. Blackout blonde pea noodles, I guess you could call them. What I've done here is I grabbed a handful and I rinsed them off underneath the sink. I just took one end and held it underneath the sink here. And I switched hands and held it under the sink and rinsed that side off as well. That's a handful of the overall mass. I've got just some basic bouillon here. I'm not a fancy type person, so there's no stock or anything like that. Just going to put some flavoring in there, some chicken bouillon. This is from Knorr. Use whatever brand you like. I personally like this stock or this bouillon, and I've heated some water, or it's heating, and I'm going to throw some of this in there, and then we're going to put the noodles in there until they become limp. Now you can, as you can imagine, these would be great in stir fry. If you can do this with it, and what I'm about to show you and how they become limp and noodle-like, then they would go absolutely phenomenally well in a stir fry with some chicken or beef, maybe some broccoli florets. It'd just be phenomenal. I added a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of minced onion. Test on this now. Looking forward to it. I wish I had some fresh mushrooms, you know, like an Asian style soup. Maybe add a little bit of soy into it, but we'll go with this.
It's got a little bit of crunch to it still, which is perfect. Fantastic taste. You know, like with peas, like a pea pod, if you've ever cooked them, it changes the flavor a little bit. It doesn't have that raw taste, and this does the exact same thing. So it's a wonderful standalone dish. Put it in a stir fry or something like that. It can be used essentially in a greater capacity than most microgreens can. This is Brent, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video.